Satan's castle. It's linked to all forms of Satanism and ritual abuse. According to legend, there are tunnels underneath that lead to a Catholic church that were also used during the Prohibition and also as satanic ritual sacrifice. Initially, this video was going to be vastly different. However, I have a darker tale to tell you. So, we drove up to San Bernardino to a place called Satan's Castle. There's not a lot of actual history, a lot of facts known about this place. So, from what I've gathered, is that it was built in the 1920s in this sort of resort town. And then it had tunnels underneath, is what I was told, that led to a Catholic church, and it was also used during the time of Prohibition. Then, of course, at the height of the Satanic Panic, it was, according to hearsay, it was a daycare that had satanic ritual abuse. And then it burned down mysteriously. So here's what I am going to tell you about this. As far as it having tunnels underneath, probably. As far as it being connected to a Catholic church, maybe. Satanic ritual abuse, I will tell you 100% did not happen. That isn't what Satanists do. Could there have been some other religious organization who did abuse? Yeah, that's possible. Satanist? No. Many people believed that this place is satanic because it's at this location called the Edge of the World on this mountain. And it's really a phenomenal view. As you'll see in a moment, the view is really stunning. And they also think that it's satanic because the tower is in the shape of a pentagram, which is not satanic, by the way. So initially, we were going to drive up there. We were going to show you Satan's Castle. We were going to sort of debunk, as well as we could, some of the hearsay about ritual abuse. We drive up there, and we get out. Lady Alexandra, the boys, and I. We start to film. And we do some shots of the boys. We do some shots of me. Some pictures, some photographs, some video. And we get back in the car. The car was not wanting to start in this moment. And we thought, well, okay, rationalize it here. It's an older car. Mr. Satan is an old car. And maybe it's just the elevation change. Maybe that's doing something to the fuel. Okay, fine. And if it would have just been that or any one of these other things on its own, maybe I would have still gone on with the story the way that I had planned it. However, we drive down the mountain. We pull over just maybe a mile down the road. We pull over at this sort of parking area to see the views. And we get out. I'm in my cloak. We're going to do the story. We're going to do the thing. We go to get back in the car, and I put my foot on the clutch, and the pedal goes all the way to the floor. So I looked at Lady Alexandra, and I said, "We don't have a clutch." She said, "Wait, what?" I said, "Yeah, we don't have a clutch." Now, mind you, everything on this car has been replaced, front to back. All electronics, all engines, everything has been replaced or refurbished. So I went, "We don't have a clutch." So we call my mechanic, and he says, "Just power shift it home. Just listen to the RPMs. We want to make certain that you can get it home. Just power shift it." So we start out, and I get about to pull on the highway, and I realize, I don't want my boys to get damaged by the sun, so I cover them in my cloak. And the cloak was not wanting to stay, So I said, I don't think they want it. I think they want it. They want to be open. Don't worry, boys. I'll get you some ice cream. That's kind of a silly little ritual that I do. I eat a little bit and then I put it in their mouths as sort of a way of saying thank you. I appreciate the spirits. I appreciate what the joy they bring me, the joy they bring to the show. I'm so very thrilled. So we get home. Everything is fine. The car is fine. We get it home. I take them in and I realize that my boys have scratches all down their faces. My friend the devil, his collar is loose and he's got scratches down his face. Asmodeus has scratches down his face, like deep scratches. I had to actually fill in with plaster from the scratches, which they didn't have before, they didn't have during. They drove all the way up there, it was fine. And then they were covered with a blanket, scratches. So I repaired them, and I'm on a phone call a day or two later. Lady Alexandra comes in. She goes to edit the video. She comes back in after my phone call, and she has this strange look on her face, and she says, "We're not doing that version. We're not doing that video." And I went, "Wait, what? Why? What?" She says, "Just listen to the video. Watch the video." So the video you're about to see, we did not slow it down. We did not edit it in any way. It just, as you're watching it, pay attention because it slows and then there's growling, but there's growling and knocking before and after. It's very strange. Here's the clip.
Well,
And then she says to me, after I watched this clip, "The boys are getting ice cream. We have to go get ice cream for the boys." And I listened to it and I watched it and I went, "The boys are getting ice cream." So we immediately got in the other car, in the undercover car. We went to get ice cream and my boys are much happier since they got their ice cream. And then tonight I was showing that video to some friends of mine, and they were, of course, intrigued by what had happened. And I scrolled past to see a video of myself standing on the mountain, and it did the same thing. No other videos before or after. Just the ones where I was on camera and my friend the devil and Asmodeus were on camera. And I went, oh, well, that's very interesting. So, is the place haunted? In conclusion, yeah, maybe it is. Mountains are oftentimes haunted, especially here in Southern California. There's a lot of pressure that pushes those crystals, those rocks up into the air. And then, of course, what is underneath the crystal? Then what has happened, what has transpired in the time that this place has been open? Many things. In the Bible, Lucifer brings Jesus Christ to a high mountain where he can see all of creation. You might call it the edge of creation. And he says to him, "See this, see the world below. If you will just jump, bow down to me, that's what it was. If you bow down to me, all of this is yours." He says, "No, I'm not going to do that." He says, "But why not? The angels will gird you up unless you stub your toe. You can't hurt yourself. Why not?" And I was, in those moments, reenacting that. So, is the place haunted? I will leave that up to you. But I will tell you, if you do go to Satan's castle, do not disturb the neighbors. Do not go trespassing. And make certain that you have a car that is probably not manual. And make certain that you are all spiritually protected. Your car is protected. Your puppets that are 90 to 100 years old are protected. Your friends are protected. And make certain you check out our Patreon at The Gentleman's House. Make certain to find me at thegentlemanpsychic.com, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube where you are watching me. Also, I offer readings, house cleansings, all kinds of magic work. Until next time, I'm your host, Richard-Lael Lillard, the Gentleman Psychic.